The last thing we're going to look at in this series of videos for this day is a way that chemists can report data for gases that is uniform for the whole community. Because the activity of a gas at one pressure, volume, and temperature and certain number of moles is going to be different if I change even just one of those aspects. And so chemists came up with a standard temperature and pressure, or what we refer to as STP, that where we report the properties of a gas at a particular temperature and pressure. So standard temperature is 273.15 degrees Kelvin. That's 0 degrees Celsius. But as I said, with gases, we don't use Celsius because we want an accurate measure of thermal energy. And standard pressure is 1 atmosphere. Now, another standard that we use quite a bit and that you need to know is what's called standard molar volume. And basically, if we're to ask ourselves, what volume does 1 mole of gas occupy at STP? Well, we have a formula that can find that. We use the ideal gas law and solve for volume. Let's insert all of our standard temperature and pressures here and assume we have 1 mole of gas. So 1 mole of gas times our constant times standard temperature over standard pressure. This comes out to 22.4 liters, and we call this standard molar volume. This is a very important number because it basically says that 1 mole of an ideal gas occupies 22.4 liters at STP. Kind of think of this like a conversion factor. 1 mole of gas occupies 22.4 liters. And I want to emphasize that we're taking this in terms of moles, because remember, moles is about amount, not necessarily grams. Let me show you a picture here of the point I'm trying to get across. And each of these balloons is 1 mole of a gas. And they all occupy the same volume, even though 1 mole weighs differently comparing helium to ammonia to oxygen. And so it doesn't matter its identity. Doesn't matter that 1 mole of helium weighs less than 1 mole of oxygen. If you have 1 mole of gas, it will occupy the same volume, 22.4 liters, as another mole or as a mole of another gas. We call that standard molar volume.